Hi there, I'm Dan Jones. I work for Volcarail as a senior signalling projects engineer. I'm with...
And Habbershaw, senior project manager, also for Volcarail.
And we're here to talk about the Platinum Awards and your nomination.
Platinum Awards.
Yeah.
So...
What's it feel like to be a winner? And what were you nominated for first?
Right, so nominated for Project Manager of the Year for Volcarail. Yeah. And obviously nominated by you, thank you very much, and the couple of members of the team. So yeah, what's it like to be nominated? Actually quite humbling, because obviously when you're working day to day, you always wonder, well, I do anyway, whether you're doing a good job, whether you're the people around you, particularly in the role I do, whether you're getting the best out of people and whether they're coming along with you for the ride, especially in project delivery. And I think that being nominated by, and the nice things that people say about you when you're nominated is kind of cementing the fact that you've done a good job and you've brought the team along with you, I guess. So for me, just the nomination meant like the world. I've never been nominated for something before, so... it
was me, Ben and Bex, Becca Collinson who nominated you. Bex and Ben, I think, had been talking, then brought me in as well. And I was thinking about nominating you anyway, and the other, the design team, I nominated Gaz as well, and the design team. But they started putting some words together, and I thought, it feels really, really right to nominate you, and what they'd already written, I sort of built on. And it went from there, and I thought, thoroughly deserve it. You brought the team on and brought them on along the ride for Bradford, and, brought the team together, and technically, I thought, worth a shout as well. And, your stuff in the project management world, and definitely deserved some recognition, so. Yes. It was an easy one, to be fair.
Oh, thank you.
Easy one.
But I honestly thought, like I say, the nomination itself was great. I didn't think I'd win. I mean, I wanted to win, obviously. To then get shortlisted for the Volcarail bit and then go to the Platinum Awards was like amazing, really. And obviously it's an amazing night, as you know, because you've been as well. So previous years. So even going to the awards, was a great opportunity. Obviously did quite a bit of manifesting. And it's funny, isn't it? Because when we started Bradford, I joked with Baz, if you remember, when I said, if we deliver this project to time and budget, I want a gold statue outside Eager House. Yeah. But now I've got a Platinum Award, so didn't need the gold statue, but now I've got the Platinum Award, so that kind of makes up for it. But yeah, to actually win on the night was just like unreal, and it's definitely the highlight of my career so far. But particularly, like I say, as a project manager, you never know whether whether the team's going to be everything you need it to be. But you guys, and I say this all the time, made my job easy.
Obviously, got your nomination. Tell us how you felt in the run-up, the journey down. What were your expectations of, what you'd see at the Platinum, and, what were your realistic chances you think, you'd win, be honest?
So, obviously, like I said previously, just getting nominated was, brilliant. So when I got nominated, I was surprised anyway. You want to make a good impression on everyone you work with. And as a PM, I always laugh and joke saying, I'm just winging it, I'm just doing what I feel I need to do to run the project. I'm not the sort of project manager that has lots of tick boxes and, lists of trackers. I have things when I need to have things, and I think I have a much more natural style, and not everyone likes that, but some people might like a more process driven, rigid type of project manager, but I'm not that person. So so being nominated for the job you do and you love is just brilliant for me, and is because you do get a bit of, what's the word, imposter syndrome sometimes, where you think, oh God, can I do this? And definitely when when I started out this year, knowing I was going to have a challenging project, like part of me was kind of, God, am I going to actually be able to succeed and do it? But then the other part of me was like, brilliant, what a great challenge. So like I say, having that nomination in the first place and having people you're working with every day think that you are doing a good job is just like brilliant, and that to me is just saying you've kind of made it in the role you're doing. And then when I found out I got shortlisted, so I think I was on a Teams call with you, I think, and obviously I always, as you know, I always put my camera on, and I like people to put the camera on. I hate when you have Teams meetings and nobody puts the camera on. I like to see the whites of people's eyes, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So obviously I think me and you were having a normal daily catch-up over Teams, so we must have been working at home or whatever, and I was like, the shortlists are up. So I had it on the Blink app, I think, on my phone. And I think I was on Teams with you, and then I went, project manager at you. And I can remember it come up, and I said to you, obviously I joked saying I've got a heart of stone. And I was like, I think I'm going to nearly cry. Can you remember? And you were like, are you all right? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I mean, I didn't actually cry, but so obviously to get shortlisted for Volker Rail. So I was kind of, at that point, I was like, oh, that's like brilliant. So obviously then got the invite to the Platinum Awards, and I honestly didn't know what to expect, obviously, because I was quizzing you about it, weren't I? Because you'd been, was it the year before you went for Chilterns?
Yes.
So I was like quizzing you, and your bit of info was, you remember, you was like, yeah, it's really good. You can only get one drink at a time at the bar, and you can't get doubles. That was literally what you said to me. And I know
that'd be important information.
And no shots.
Yeah.
And I was like,
pretty time.
Yeah. I was like, oh, brilliant. So, but then I was like, like you say, as a solo person, you go in on your own.
Yeah.
So I can remember saying to Will, I don't know if I have to go on my own or whatever. And I think he emailed Tina to say, is she allowed to take someone? And I think we were like, you need to email them. So I obviously emailed them and asked if I could have a +1. Yeah. So I took Will. But I didn't really, but even when I got there, I didn't really know that many people. So there was a couple of people I did know. And obviously Will and Vicky Goodwin was there. So she was doing introductions. So, because I always think when you go to these events, you've got a lot of senior managers there as well. It's always a bit like nerve-wracking, isn't it? Did you find that?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely think, I think the biggest thing that I would naturally think is, I don't want to make a fool of myself. Not that you necessarily would, but, when the seniors there, but you look at some of the seniors and they're just, they're just people, aren't they?
Yeah. But I think, when not too much alcohol's involved, you don't know what you're going to come out with, do you? Well, I don't anyway. But yeah, so but the actual night itself, the venue was amazing. The Underglobe at Shakespeare's Dock, is it, or whatever? Shakespeare's.
Remember being a lovely venue, big tree in the middle.
Yeah. And,
nice lighting and
real tree or fake tree though? What do you reckon? I reckon it's got to be.
I didn't try to climb. I didn't touch it. Why were you stroking?
No, but I was thinking, how's it alive down here? So I reckon it must have been fake. Random thoughts that I had.
Fair. No, I remember thinking the same, and I just assumed it was fake.
Yeah.
I didn't start stroking.
No. I'll have to ask them that question. Anyway, right. But yeah, the venue was amazing. And obviously, it's funny because even in the run-up, I'd decided I had to get a new dress. So I was like, right, I'm having a red dress. And normally, as you can see today, I'm all in black. So I wear a lot of neutral colour clothes. But I thought, right, I'm wearing a red dress. I'm manifesting it. I'm going in there. That award's mine. Yeah. But so I felt really good. It was nice to get dressed up. The venue was great. Obviously on the night you get kind of a welcome drink, don't you, and canapes, and then they kind of show you to your table, have a lovely meal, and then they get into obviously the crux of it, of the awards. So and it's funny because as they're going through the awards, I was sat kind of at the front, so our table was right near the back, so I was thinking, no chance of winning an award, I'm at the back, but closest to the bar. and the toilets, so that's a bit of a plus. And I'd turn my chair around so I could watch the stage, and then Will had come and sat his chair next to me, and I think I had Stuart Webster-Spriggs the other side, and I was like laughing, saying when they were getting to this project manager award, because I was like, I better make sure my dress is not under the chair tables, because if my name gets called and I have to stand up, my dress will come down and I'll just be flat on the floor and I'll get remembered for all the completely wrong reasons. So I was like saying this to Will, and we were like laughing obviously about it. So I was like making sure my dress was all right. And then obviously when they announced the project manager of the year, I'd already checked out the opposition, of course, where it was four blokes. So I was like, typical railway, only female. So when they actually came to the Project Management Award and they said, we're actually going to give it to all the nominees because of the work they've done in each of their respective businesses, that was just like brilliant, because I thought, well...
I bet deep down though, you were like, you won't.
It's funny because one of the other project managers later had said, I think it was a bit of a cough-out because they didn't pick anyone. Now, I was really happy that I got nominated and shortlisted anyway. Yeah. So, but yeah, I suppose I could have thought that, I should have won it.
Well, we've already said if you're down there, you're a winner anyway. You have to be shortlisted.
Yeah, so. I was quite happy regardless, But so obviously we all went up there, and I walked straight up through, because there's steps either side and one up the middle. So I walked straight through the middle and got my award, and we had the pictures and everything. But yeah, so I was obviously really pleased, so happy. And it's quite a heavy award as well. I did say to the husband, better watch it because you could do some damage with that. But
you a big shelf for that?
Yeah. So it's on the shelf in my study at home. So and even for the couple of weeks afterwards, being back when I was going in the office, everyone congratulations, well done. Yeah. And the messages of kind of support and.
So it's worth the hangover then.
Yeah, it was well worth it. It was really good. And, and like I said to you at the time, you guys nominated me, so it was all your lot's fault, including the hangover. But yeah, it was great. Yeah. How did you feel when you found out I'd won?
Oh, really happy for you. I thought well deserved. Then it came out, obviously everyone won. And that made me chuckle. But no, like I say, you're a winner just being down there, so being shortlisted, winner, and to come away with an award, winner. Yeah. So well deserved, and yeah, just felt right,
Yeah,
I was pleased for you, proud for you, So yeah,
yeah,
and it meant a lot for the team, I think, because they all probably thought the same,
Yeah. No, it was good. Cool. It was good.